All of us know Bhagwan Sri Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam as the central architect of Bhagavad Gita, and which is not only known in India but it is now known throughout the world. And we have seen how Bhagwan Sri Krishna, through his efforts, established dharma in society at a distant time in the past. Now, today our question for Sri Lahiri Guruji is to dive really deep into Bhagwan Sri Krishna's life. Now, all of us have heard of all of his exploits during those times and how his efforts led to Pandavas winning the war and playing a pivotal role in the victory of Dharma over anti-humanitarian forces, over Asuric forces at that point of time. But today we want to dive really deep and get wisdom from the depth of Samadhi on what sort of inspirations do we get from his life and how all of that learnings is relevant in today's time and age is what we want to focus on. So with that as a question, I would request Sri Lahiri Guruji to provide us answers and look at Bhagwan Sri Krishna's life. Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya, Sumanji. Antarik Ashirvad to all the sadhaks, to all the viewers, to all the global netizens who are meditating upon this video. Beautiful question asked. The life of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Let us all first understand that Bhagwan Shri Krishna, in the truest sense, is Parameshwar. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is the Supreme Godhead. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is Yogeshwar. To worship Bhagwan Shri Krishna, to be of true service to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, to be a true devotee, to be a true follower, to be a true seeker of Shri Krishna Tattva Sadhana, one has to first understand the Yogeshwara Tattva of Bhagwan Shri Krishna and then the Parameshwara Tattva of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. But before anything else, before diving deep into this ocean of supreme consciousness, that is Bhagwan Shri Krishna, let us first understand what is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana. In Hindu Dharma, the true way of worshipping is to internalize the Tattva, the teachings, the blessings of the Supreme Godhead. We have to profoundly learn the lessons that Bhagwan Shri Krishna has taught through Bhagavad Gita, through his life, and try to internalize those learnings, emulate them in each and every action of our life. So what is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana? In a nutshell, in one line, to be strategically empowered, to be strategically enlightened, to be strategically prepared is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana. To be strategically empowered, to be strategically enlightened, and to be strategically ready is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana. This term, strategic preparedness, strategic empowerment, strategic enlightenment, why is it so important? Because as Bhagwan Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita. Dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The true essence of spirituality is to be empowered enough so that you can always stand by the righteousness without fear, without poverty, without weakness. This is spirituality. Now, do you know why we don't always stand with righteousness? Either we are afraid, or we are weak, or we are ignorant. To transcend ignorance is strategic enlightenment. To transcend weakness is strategic empowerment. And to transcend self-destructive, self-created fear is strategic preparedness. Only when you understand the enemies to humanitarianism, only when you understand the true nature of the enemies to righteousness, that you can be a true spiritually humanitarian force. For that, you need to be truly strategically empowered, strategically enlightened, and strategically prepared. There is a very beautiful saying in Bharatiya Rishi Sanskriti, which Bhagwan Shri Krishna displays through his life again and again. A weak person, a disenfranchised person has no spiritual values. If you are not strong enough, if you have not put in efforts to prepare yourself, to militarize yourself, to weaponize yourself, so that you can selflessly, fearlessly, and egolessly stand by righteousness, then all your big spiritual talks amount to zero. You should be empowered enough, like Bhagwan Shri Krishna, to not just say the right thing, but when it matters, protect that which is right. Empower that which is right. Propagate that which is right. Otherwise, a bunch of violent miscreants, a bunch of violent anti-humanitarian terrorist force can crush righteousness, can crush spirituality, and all your big talks will amount to zero. Bhagwan Shri Krishna teaches us that from day one, know the enemies of humanity. Know what is righteousness and what is evil. And then paritranaya sadhunam. Nurture and empower those who are righteous, those who are with dharma, those who are humanitarian, those who are manavtavadi. And annihilate those who are evil, else they will annihilate you. Vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. To establish dharma should be your sole motive, should be the sole reason, objective, and destination of your sadhana, and this you have to do eternally. That is the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is the essence of the teachings of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. And he not just taught it, he lived it. To be strategically prepared, to be strategically empowered, and to be strategically enlightened. To protect and nurture spiritual humanitarianism is Sri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana. To be able to protect those who are righteous, to have the wherewithal, to have the empowerment, to have the strategic preparedness, to have the military and military preparedness, to have the advanced weapon systems, to protect dharma, manavta, spiritual humanitarianism, even those who are righteous but weak, is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana, is Adhyatma. And throughout the life of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, we observe, since the moment of his birth, being the Supreme Godhead, being the Parameshwar, being the Yogeshwar, he could have been born in the lap of any amount of luxury. But he chose the lap of Devaki Vasudev, imprisoned in a small prison cell, thereby giving us a message: always choose struggle over luxury. Always choose struggle and sacrifice over leading a safe, luxurious, compromised life, where you have compromised your soul, your spiritual values with evil. It is better to struggle and sacrifice like Maharana Pratap than to lead a luxurious life by becoming slave to barbaric anti-humanitarian forces. Shri Krishna leads by example. Bhagwan Shri Krishna chooses a prison cell over a palace, but doesn't compromise with Kansa, the evil king, the evil doer. Then Bhagwan Shri Krishna displays his strategic preparedness from the day one. He strategically relocates from that prison cell to Gokul in the house of Nanda Baba, Ma Yashoda. There he unites the entire Hindu society. He empowers them, he militarizes them. He invokes their self-respect, their strategic preparedness to an extent that one after other, the entire Hindu society of Gokul is successfully able to annihilate the demonic forces sent by Kansa one after another. That showed the importance of strategic preparedness, strategic enlightenment, and strategic empowerment from the day one in a sadhak's life. Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself annihilated the evil forces. He never ever compromised with the evil forces in any manner. So, Bhagwan Shri Krishna unites, empowers, militarizes and weaponizes the entire Hindu society, who were hitherto strategically unprepared, disorganized, not united, and transforms that society into an enlightened, empowered, militarized, weaponized society capable of annihilating all anti-humanitarian forces. And then Bhagwan Shri Krishna goes to Mathura, annihilates Kansa. He doesn't wait Kans to invade Gokul. He preemptively does a surgical strike on Mathura, and in a targeted manner annihilates Kansa, the evil king. When the father-in-law of Kansa, Jarasandha, started again and again attacking Mathura, and that was causing a lot of collateral damage to the innocent people of Mathura, Bhagwan Shri Krishna creates an illusion. He does a strategic retreat in his Ranchor avatar, strategically shifts to Dwarka, creates a profound, impregnable fortress city of Dwarka, which was also the epitome of deep ocean. mission deep ocean mining, and ocean engineering Mahasadhana. And then, once all the righteous forces were safe both in Mathura and Dwarka, Bhagwan Shri Krishna does another strategic strike. And on a moment of his choosing, at a place of his choosing, annihilates Jarasandha, and then one after another Rakshasas, evil forces, culminating into Bhagwan Shri Krishna strategically guiding Pandavas during their 12 years of Vanvas, 1 year of Agyatvas, empowering them in this duration for the final war of Kurukshetra, which was the war between Nyaya and Anyaya, the war between Dharma and Shoshan, the war between righteousness and exploitation. And in that final war, Bhagwan Shri Krishna displayed his mastery over the most advanced military systems this world has ever known, and ensured not just the victory of righteousness, but victory of righteousness rooted in enlightened knowledge. Pandavas, righteousness, dharma, won Kurukshetra, rooted in the enlightened wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, rooted in the enlightened wisdom of self-actualization and God realization. This is the greatness of Bharat. Here, God Himself shows the path spiritually first, and then militarily, then scientifically through advanced military systems, to how to ensure that righteousness spiritually wins the war against evil, militarily wins the war against evil, technically wins the war against the evil. So that not just that the righteous forces are victorious, but dharma is established at all dimensions of human existence and human civilization. This entire thing, this entire Jivan Sadhana, this entire tapasya is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana, which we all should imbibe. How? Unite all the righteous humanitarian forces globally. Unite the entire Hindu society. And also unite those who are firm believers in spiritual humanitarianism. Those who believe in the sanctity of human life, in the sanctity of self-realization, and the sanctity of God realization. Empower them. Empower them in all 7 dimensions of holistic empowerment: economic dimension, social dimension, political dimension, dimension of innovation, entrepreneurship development, academic empowerment, scientific empowerment. Empower them in the dimension of cultural empowerment. Empower them in the dimension of militarization and weaponization, and spiritually empower them. These 7 dimensions of empowerment must be achieved by all the righteous forces so that they are able to selflessly, fearlessly, and egolessly annihilate all anti-humanitarian forces, thereby establishing the ecology of dharma, the ecology of spirituality, the ecology of righteousness. For this, it is the holy duty of every Hindu, every humanitarian, every practitioner of spiritual humanitarianism, that he upholds righteousness without fear and without succumbing to selfishness. And for that, he has to empower himself to empower others. By others, we mean every single righteous person on planet Earth. This is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana in letter and spirit. Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasadhana is also to be militarily advanced, is to be also strategically empowered, strategically enlightened, and strategically prepared. It is also to be at the forefront of scientific innovations, of entrepreneurship development, of human development. And once this is realized, eternal holistic prosperity and well-being of the entire human civilization is achieved. This is Shri Krishna Tattva Mahasatma. Om Namah Shivaya.